Good morning, everyone, and welcome to the Quantum Leap Futures Morning Leap Session for Wednesday, October the 24th, 2018. My name is Doug McKay. I am the founder of Quantum Leap Futures. Each morning we get together in these live go-to sessions to take a look at the market, macro to micro, take a look at the structure of the market, and then we drill down to our trade levels, our targets, and our hypotheses. Our hypotheses are our trade plans. We do create multiple trade plans. We do not try to predict what the market's going to do. We put a plan together based on certain scenarios, who takes control, then we wait for the market to open up, and then execute the plan that the market is showing us best suits it. This is a subscription room. If you're interested in checking it out, send me an email at quantumleapfutures@gmail.com. There's no website. There's no blog. This is not a commercial venture. We do everything live here in the go-to. Then we do live trading and analysis during the course of the regular trading day. Please read through the disclaimer. Nobody at Quantum Leap is a certified trading advisor. We are retail traders operating within a self-organized learning environment. Past performance is not indicative of future results, and any trades that you see in Quantum Leap are for education purposes only. Please trade your own due diligence, your own trade plan, and your own risk metrics. All right, let's take a look at yesterday. Yesterday, we were actually looking for a balancing day with the downward skew. Did not think that this gap was going to get closed, and it looked like we were going to get a continuation down into the 2671 area with this impulse wave down, a 31.25 point impulse. No continuation wave, but I mentioned in the room, okay, and I posted the picture and warned the shorts when this three-wave corrective pattern. So we have an impulse down. So we're looking for a continuation, but instead of the continuation, we get a corrective pattern. And we put in a fractal high, then we put in a higher low, and then the three-wave corrective is confirmed once we break above the fractal on the third wave of the corrective three-wave pattern. And then we basically started chopping again, basing, putting in higher lows, higher highs, and then we went off to the races, and they rallied it all the way back up. Didn't actually close the naked close from the prior day, but we did close the range gap, which is this large of a gap. The probability of it closing was less than 12%. And yet we're seeing these low priorities. So basically, a great big huge, rally off of the bottom and clear rejection of the 2600s by the buyers. In the overnight action, they tried to take it down, but when Europe opened up, what do? They rallied it all the way back up into this upper distribution from yesterday's trend type scenario. Believe it or not, it wasn't a trend day, but it certainly acted as a trend once the buyers took control. And here we are in this upper distribution. The key for me today is going to be this 36 area. That is our over underline. You can see that once we got up, it was our closing swing low into the close, and then in the overnight it is double distribution, and it's the LVN that separates. So that's going to be the big key today on whether or not we hold and get the continuation and the move back up into this 2760 area, or we break through the 36 area and come back down into the 27 that micropositive VPOC 2750 area, and basically start filling in the auction down here again between the 2730 and the 2700. Let's take a look at the news. We have housing prices in 11 minutes. We've got manufacturing PMI in 56 minutes. The big one, of course, though, is going to be two things. New home sales at 10 o'clock and what the Bank of Canada does with their rate. They got a Fed meeting next week. I believe it's next week. and usually I look for clues on what the Canada does coming into next week, because we get an insight. If they raise, then you could see the U.S. as well raise, but nobody knows. 10:30, we've got crude inventory and all its associates, and then we've got Bank of Canada press conference at 11:15, and then we've got Bullard from the Fed speaking at 11:30. 1 o'clock, the 5-year note. 1 o'clock, we've got Bostic from the Fed speaking, and then we've got Mester speaking as well 10 minutes later, and then we've got Beige Book. So there's quite a bit of news coming into the session. We've got the volatility, okay, and we remain, this is, I'm just going to break away for just 1 second. It is, I talk about this all the time, and we talked about this in last week when the volatility started picking up, well, a couple weeks ago. As I said, one of the clues is to watch the Globex session for volume. And you can see that the average volume in the Globex is about 100K, 110K. And lately we've been seeing double, triple, even one day, I think we had 10 times or 8 times the volume in the Globex. And that's a clue on when you're going to get, okay, the volatility picking up in the RTH, and it carries over because you have OTF activity involvement in the market. Anyway, just wanted to point that out. Doesn't really have to do much about today, other than the fact that we are in high volatility. Take a look at the earnings. We are in the middle of earnings again, and again, the earnings are still telling a pretty damn good story. The earnings are, for the most part, have been really good. We've got AMD and Microsoft and Visa and Ford and Whirlpool and Align. So we LVS, Las Vegas Sands. We've got a lot of big names starting to come in. So just keep an eye on your earnings during the next couple of weeks as we get into the thick of things. In terms of the bigger picture, let's take a look at the macro. I always like to start my day with a simple candlestick chart. I start on a monthly, work my way down. And what I'm doing is I want to see where we are in terms of the periodicity and the trend. And I start with a bigger time frame and work my way down. I'm looking for slope and separation of the 9 EMA and the 20 SMA, and where we're challenging the 9, okay, and challenging the trend, or where we're breaking the 9 and the 20 and getting a possible trend change or violating the trend. And you can see that, we have this long upward trend, and they come down and they challenge the 9 EMA. So the trend is being challenged on the monthly, and we're currently just below the 9. The 9 EMA is about 2774, and we're below it right now. What we really want to watch is any move down to the 20 takes us into the mid 2600s. And again, it wouldn't doing that wouldn't necessarily violate the trend. It would just be a normal pullback. On the weekly, we do have a break below the 9 and the 20. Now, we had a weekly FUBAR Mr. Sneaky that is looking like it's a failed Mr. Sneaky. So I'm worried about the fact that we broke below the low, but we did have a pretty good rally. Typically, this pattern right here is a retracement back up into testing the 9 EMA, which is up right now at 28.2450 on the weekly. So we do have a possible trend change on the weekly. On the daily, you can see that we're clearly in a downward trend right now. We keep failing to get back above the 9 EMA. So on the daily basis, okay, we start to see, on the weekly basis down, we start to see the possibility of a trend change. Going to the intraday, the 240, the 4 hour, you can see that, we tried to base here, and we failed to continue the rally. They broke through the support and started to trend down. Now they're coming back up into this support. And again, this is that 2750 is going to be an important level to get above, because we've got to get through, okay, what was support, which is now going to be resistance. And if we can get through that, then we should get the continuation back up into the next area, which was support in the 82. But right now, okay, we're having trouble getting back. So watch this 2750 area. That's going to be our key line in the sand above. And then the 36 is our over-under line. And then just going to the 30-minute, you see that we had a very strong trend down. Okay, they based down there yesterday. They start to change the trend. We start getting slope and separation, and then we open up in the Globex, and you know, they started a new downward trend, but now we're trying to take it back right now. So we're in an area that is very important, and let's take a look at the big picture structure. I'm going to bring this candle in. So our current microcomposite VPOC is 2771.75 from the breakdown day. The bigger picture, okay, the longer time frame, which goes all the way back to the gap up day and goes back into August of or September of 2017. The microcomposite VPOC is 2750 area. And so we're down in this distribution between the 2750 and the 2693, and we've tested this whole distribution yesterday. But this is a pretty decent buying tail. So if this turns out to be the excess low and we get above the 2750, then look for them to rally up into the 60 1/4 and move back up into this balance right here, which is up at the 72 1/4 area. You know, we are in this bigger time frame balance. We're, you know, nothing is unnormal. We still have an unequalized all-time high. I don't think that the highs are in, but we are seeing signs of weakness and the possibility of continuation down towards the 2641.75, which would be the next big destination below us. Those are the levels to pay attention. Again, if we get back below the 36, we're likely to see at least coming down into the 33.75, but I think you'll see a move all the way back down into the 27 area and possibly even down a little bit further. Again, you know, there's still some repair work to do down here between 2700 and 2750 in this low volume node here. Overnight inventory is, you know, pretty mixed. I would say it's probably about 70% net short, but double distribution, so very balanced on the upside to the low side, and the VPOC has not shifted up, although I would anticipate that we're likely to see a VPOC shift before we get into the close. And again, we've got that key LVN there at 36 from the overnight. In terms of hypotheses, again, we're in wide balance. You can see that there is no confirmation or acceptance of price yesterday. We searched below, we searched above, and they never came to value yet. We left the VPOC down below at the 2714 in the lower part of this distribution. So in terms of hypothesis, because we are seeing the larger time frame being challenged, okay, my bias is still to the downside right now, but Okay, hypo 1 and hypo 2 are going to be equally weighted because of this rally yesterday. So, hypos. Hypo 1, open auction, in range value. There was no value yesterday, so that's not important. And I'm looking for a move up into, first we've got to put our levels in. Sorry, our overnight high is 50. And that is going to be our key line in the sand. I'm actually going to use the 51 because I want to break inside of that day on Monday. And that puts us above the key LVN at 50, above the overnight high. That's overnight low. That should be overnight high. Now, if you wanted to be really safe, you can wait until we break above yesterday's high up at the 54.75. The only thing is, I think there's opportunity to catch the move into testing the high, and I think a break above the 50 and then above the 51 confirms the break of 50, and you've got a fairly decent move there. So open auction. Oh, I'm going to put the overnight low in. Overnight low is down at 19 and a quarter. And I'll put the VPOC in, even though it's likely going to shift, but right now it's down at 28. All right, so I'm looking for an open auction. In range, I'm looking for a move up to take out the naked close at 46.50, a push up into the 50 area, and I'm looking for sellers to step in here, rotate us down, challenge the 36 chop here, and then get the push through. And I'm looking for coming back down into the 27.50 area, chopping in this area, and probably another stab lower down to the 26.05, 26.06. Our daily ATR, full session average true range, is running 43.70. So off of the overnight high, our downside daily ATR target is 27.06 a quarter, and our upside daily target off of the low is up here at 27.62. So we have range capabilities, okay, to get to both areas. So hypo 1, open auction, move up, close the gap, failed to get above the 27.50 or get a breakout, sellers step in, take us down to 36, chop, and then push down into 27 with a late day probe, likely down into the 12 to 14 area. That is hypo 1. Hypo 2, open auction, in range, a move down to the 36, possibly even a dip down to the 27.50, but somewhere between 36 and 27.50, the buyers step in, rotate us up through, take out the overnight high, and break out and come up into the week open and the naked VPOC up here in the 27.58 and a quarter, 27.60 and a quarter. That is hypo 2. Hypo 3 is a continuation because we've got a impulsive move up yesterday, and then on hypo 3 will be the continuation. Open test drive, failure to break below the 36, buyers step in early, take us up into the prior day on Monday and push us up through. And I'm looking for a move all the way up here into the 72 to 82 area and coming up into this balance that we fell out of. Okay, that's up here in Globex yesterday. That is hypo 3. Hypo 4 is a opposite liquidation break, open test drive or open drive down, blow through the 36 area, come down, chop into the 27, chop between 27 and the 14 area, and then break below the low from yesterday and the month low and the week low, and push down into this 71, 75 to 79 area and close down here and close in the 2600s for the first time in a while. All right, those are my hypos for ES. Going quickly to gold. I know I'm going long today. Gold just continues to balance out in the 1230 to 1233 area. Right between the two microcomposite VPOCs. We have held the 25 yesterday and moved up. We did get the move up and the move to test the value area up in the 40. We thought we might see 45, but they stalled at the former value area high here, and we've come back down to balance and bounced. Right now, looks like we're accepting this 33 again. If we can accept that and break above it, I'm looking for that move up through 45 and into the 50. If we can break. And if we do not hold the 30 this time, look for a move down into the 23, and I think we'll see a bigger move and back towards the mid of this significant breakout candle. I'd say in the 17 to 15 area, and see if that holds. If not, we could see a move right back into the balance that we've been trading in for many days down here. That was fighting that 1200. That's going to complete our pre-market session. As always, trade well, trade safe, and we'll catch you on the flip side.